is going on, guys? It's ASAP Flash here, and I'm here with another video for you. So today, I just seen, like I said yesterday, so excitedly, and it finally came true after all these years. Finally seen Jigsaw in theater, and directed by the Spearing Brothers, Spyrig, or whatever. Um, they're known for directing Predestination, Daybreakers, and the upcoming movie Winchester, the house that Ghost built. Um, well, I've seen Daybreakers before, and I'm not saying it was a bad movie, but it just kind of a confusing movie. Then again, I didn't really pay much attention to it, but I seen the trailer for Winchester, the house that Ghost built, and that looks pretty terrifying. I mean, there's a lot of jump scares, of course, your atypical horror film, but the plot for that movie just seemed really, shall the lack of a better word, spooky. So it just seemed like that perfect blend of supernatural and real shit happened. And when a movie has real shit based on a true story, um, you don't know if they're making it up just for the movie or that shit legit happened. The way that looks frightening. Anyway, so back to the movie. So it started off the interesting thing about it, the first frame, the first very first shot of the movie after the credits, is you see some type of needles going in, and like your typical horror Saw film, it starts off with a trap. So I like that quick frame. It looked like it was the start of a trap or something, but in reality, it was just some road spikes that the police are rolling out for like this guy that's acting all crazy and shit. So the way it starts out is like kind of gives you a sense that in this world of Jigsaw or the Saw universe is like some he's still big and shit like that. And what I like about this movie is it definitely didn't feel like with Saw 3D or whatever. I mean, everything about that movie would just it was too rushed. The blood was pink, and it just gave like a really bad vibe. After watching this movie, but after watching this movie, you'll definitely love it for sure. It goes back to the original vibes of maybe the first three movies or first two movies, which like it relied heavily, or not like relied heavily necessarily, but it had more of an emphasis on the mystery and uh, and suspense than just straight up kill them all. And especially like as the series progressed, it kind of like lost a sight of what the hell it's trying to do. It just wants to be like just in your face and brutal. But with this, it's like it how to tell the story, it just does it so excellently. I mean, there might be some spoilers. I'm sorry I didn't say earlier in the video, but like if I'm gonna talk about a movie and I accidentally spoil something, I don't mean to. It just like I really like talking about it. Anyway. So if there happens to be spoilers and you didn't want to see spoilers, just warning ahead, there might be some spoilers. And if you still haven't seen the movie yet, just watch the movie and then come back to watch this video. Anyway, so it kind of feels like in Saw 2 with like the game going on, and then at the end of the movie it just whatever, but it does it differently. And I don't you know what, I don't feel really comfortable spoiling it right here and right now, putting all the cards on the table, but I will give some little bit of hints, some little bit of shit. What makes it so interesting, like kind of like in the previous Saw films, where, especially when the character of Amanda was still alive, which kind of was the first few films actually. It kind of made it obvious that like she's working for Jigsaw, but in this movie, like the way the characters are written, it's almost like in the first part of the movie, first few scenes of the movie, you could kind of speculate that one of the characters kind of you know seems smarter than the others, so you can kind of draw a conclusion that she might be one of the accomplices. And then as the movie progresses, it's like pointing fingers to everybody. It seems like your classic like who done it type movies, but the way it ends, it just it's just great. It feels like the writers and the director just really studied on what went wrong in the movies prior, and kind of like hopefully fix some things. And I'm just gonna say, like, the major, in my opinion, the major negative of this movie is the timeline and continuity shit. Because they say like 10 years ago, this game that you're seeing in the movie kind of like happened 10 years ago, whatever. And also, it says that 10 years ago that apparently John Kramer didn't die, and that's where this whole confusing shit happens. It's like it says that John Kramer didn't die, blah blah blah, and it kind of near at the end of the movie, it kind of shows you, okay, this is what the guy did, and kind of like to make it seem like he's still alive. But there's some scenes you don't know if it happened or not, because like according to IMDb, I was like one of those people that read trivia on IMDb before the movie came out. They said that Jigsaw does make an appearance in this movie only through the people's flashbacks, so you can kind of have to question yourself, like, wait, was he actually there, or what the hell is going on? But I kind of like the way it ended. Like, instead of the main antagonist of the movie saying "game over," he said something else that I thought was pretty clever. But it definitely felt like a breakaway from what they traditionally do in the Saw movies. Now, this movie like definitely felt like it could stand alone, like away from the previous Saw films and away from like potential sequels. It felt like it could be a standalone movie altogether. Like also on IMDb, it said like it's a continuation from Saw 3D. And honestly, when I read that, I was like, shit, that this movie's gonna be horrible, isn't it? But when I saw this movie, I mean, it didn't feel like they had any major references to previous films. Although there was one major reference. Um, like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna be like spoiler heavy on this, but there was a major reference to the previous film, kind of like in a major way, like one of the main characters. I'm not gonna say who or what. You have to see the movie for yourself. But when you see the movie, you'll probably be like, oh, okay, I understand. Then again, I did say in the earlier video, like whatever. Anyway, I say a lot of stuff. But yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less. Oh yeah, like what I said earlier about referencing the old films. It like I said, it certainly feels like it tells its own contained story, whether they're gonna make a sequel or not. If they do, I really hope they kind of dropped John Kramer's character. I mean, because, like, let's be honest, he's been dead, not dead, alive, a clone, whatever, uh, since like he died about 10 years ago. So if they do kind of continue on with the shit, I hope it's at least a new character that like goes by his philosophy, and by that I don't mean like Mark Hoffman that just straight up killed people, or like Amanda Young that straight up killed people, but at least somewhere to fit his shit. And by the way, that's another thing too I like about this movie. I think I carried on with other stuff, but that's the one thing I also like about this movie, how um the accomplice that the one that the taking is on his legacy, which ironically this movie was originally titled Saw Legacy. The character that's taking on his legacy, it seemed like he actually understands what the hell John was trying to do with all these years, like with his games and shit. So it feels nice that finally we get a character that doesn't like go on a freaking killing spree on his behalf. And I mean, I don't know. I like Saw 6, but Saw 3D was one of the worst Saw movies ever. I mean, just he like Hoffman had no rhyme or reason to do anything. My only wish in this movie is I wish if they're gonna continue it with a previous films or whatever, at least bring John Kramer. I mean, not John Kramer. At least bring Gordon in, some kind of like an advisor or some shit. I don't know. But that's my thoughts about the movie. And comment down below on what do you think of the movie. What was your favorite part of the movie? And what do you think they're gonna take off from here? Are they gonna do any sequels or whatever? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm out like the Flash, and see you with another video.